welcome to this week's edition of Hawk Talk. I'm Seth Morkirky.
I'm Coulter Hickok.
And you might notice that Susanna and Ellie aren't on the show. We gave them their shot last week, so we thought we'd step up and take it this week, kind of do a couple new faces on the show.
Boys' time to shine.
Yes, the boys, sure. Yeah, we can't say that too loud. Boys' time to shine. Go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, and what you do here.
I'm Hunter Flynn. I'm from Whitehall, Montana. I'm a junior, and I run cross-country and track here at the university.
Yeah, so explain your journey from the western side of Montana to the western side of North Dakota.
It wasn't that hard of a transition, honestly. I mean, I just did my thing in high school, and it was my biggest dream to run in college.
Yeah.
And Coach Schroyer, a former coach here, reached out to me my sophomore year and wrote me letters consistently and stayed in touch with me really well. And so, I mean, he was always present, and, you know, I wasn't sure until my senior year that I wanted to go here, but you know, he was always present and he was kind of persistent, and I signed the dotted line and came here, and I haven't looked back. It's been a great 3 years so far.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you, Coach Schroyer, for doing that.
Yeah.
So I know you've been hurt on and off in the years you've been at DSU, so just talk about your career. How's that going for you?
I came in my freshman year, and I had the best cross season of my career so far, and I was just healthy as can be my freshman year. And then, you know, you go from cross right into indoor and then right into outdoor, so you're running about 10 and a half, 11 months out of the year. And so towards the end of my freshman year, I got a little banged up, nothing too serious. And then going into my sophomore year, I was playing basketball over the summer and broke my ankle, so don't switch sports. But so I kind of struggled with that all last year through cross and was a little hesitant going into the steeplechase and outdoor track, but that held up just fine. And so, I mean, I'm coming in healthy now and trying to stay healthy, of course, battling through little things here and there. But, I mean, that's kind of the biggest thing in distance runners is just trying to stay healthy. It's an ongoing battle. So.
Right.
Yeah. And you've become, I mean, one of the top runners for this DSU team. I mean, you're the runner of the week a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And took second. You've been first or second in most of these meets. So talk about, I mean, what that feels like to, you know, over these past couple of years, kind of grow into that position.
Yeah, it's definitely been a journey. I mean, I came in my freshman year and I was the number 5 guy at conference, and you know, it doesn't matter where I'm at on the roster as long as I'm helping the team out in some way. That's, you know, then I'm happy. You know, I don't have to win every race, and I don't have to place first every race. It's just the fact of helping out the team. And you know, as an upperclassman now, I can kind of lead from the front, which is kind of, you know, that's always the goal. Is to be a lead runner, but just the fact that the team's doing well is, you know, that's what I'm most proud of. But yeah, I'm definitely proud to be a leader on this team and try to help push everybody. Like even this morning, we had 6 a.m. practice in the cold, in the wind.
Saw you guys running out there. You guys look like you were working hard out there.
Yeah, and I mean, we had some paces, and we were pushing the pace even at 6 a.m. in the wind. So I mean, we just every day I try to push the guys and make them better. So that's what it's about to me.
Well, yeah, that's great. I like that you talked about leadership, because that was something I wanted to ask. Do you feel a pressure with that leadership, or is it kind of you just embracing that role?
I think I embrace it. In high school, I was, you know, a top guy on the team there, so I'm used to it. But it's something that I'm super proud of. And like I said, I could be leading from the back of the roster, the front of the roster. You know, I could place last on the team, and it wouldn't matter. I think every position has a chance to be a leader, and I'm just pushing in practice and, you know, doing everything right. So I'm thankful that I got the opportunity, and hopefully I help the guys get better every week. So.
All right, I'm going to ask you a little bit of a two-parter. So you've been a junior, or you are a junior, and you've been on the cross team for 3 years now. Where is the best race or best course you've ever ran, and then what is the worst one you've ever ran on?
I'll start with the worst first. We ran GRIAC my freshman year. That's in Minneapolis. And that's pretty famous for being a crazy course. And it was, my freshman year was the first full 8K that we ran. So it was kind of not only my first long race, but a bad one.
Crazy course.
And the guys warned me, they said, this is going to be rough. You know, there's going to be a lot of people. I think there was a couple thousand in our race, or maybe 1,000. Like, it was a big race because the weather got weird, so they combined a bunch of races. So we were with Division III, Division II, and NAIA, so there was a ton of schools, and it goes out so fast that you either follow them or die. So me and Tristan Gio went out and ran like 9:50 through 2 miles, and then proceeded to run our slowest 3 miles after that. And that course is hilly, and it was like 80 degrees and humid. So we don't go back to that course just because we get nothing out of it. So that's the worst course that we run on. Our personal favorite is Jamestown. We ran that last weekend. My freshman year at conference was there, and it was a sideways blizzard, and we embraced it, and both the men and women won conference there. So that's a course that we kind of like. We hope the weather's bad because we run really well. And last year we ran really well as well. This year not as great, but it's a flat course, speedy course. So that's kind of the course that we like to run on. And it's right in the middle of the season, so we can kind of see where we're at. So that's one of our favorites for sure.
Perfect. So long bus trips, I assume. What is the latest Netflix show that you've been watching?
Oh, I switch back and forth between that 70 Show and The Office. I just started The Office again for probably the 7th time or something. But
What's your favorite episode?
Oh man, you've put me on the spot. I don't know.
That's what we do here.
Favorite episode of The Office? I don't know. There's some heart warmers, like when towards the end when Michael Scott comes back for Dwight's wedding. That's a pretty good one. And then Jim and Pam's wedding. It's a tearjerker. So I guess I got to go for the heartfelt episodes.
Okay. Well, there you go. Well, I assume you're going to be, watching a lot of Netflix on this next road trip to Dordt. I mean, what are you guys expecting out of? I think they're I don't really understand what it is to be ranked and host, but I guess they're ranked and they host. So what are you guys expecting about this race?
Well, first of all, the weather's going to play a big factor. It's supposed to be bad, and so we're not even sure if we're going to go yet. We're kind of looking around. There's some other meets, so we're not sure, but the plan is to go to Dordt. The big thing is we're going to see Dakota State there, and they're who we need to beat. So we're hoping we can go there and compete with them and see where we're at. And then, Dordt's one of the top teams in the nation, and so, there's supposed to be some good NAIA competition, so any chance we can get to run against some of those guys is a big thing for us. So, I mean, it comes down to how you place in bad weather. Times don't really matter. It's just who you can get in front of. So basically, we're trying to get an eye on Dakota State mainly, and then just see where everybody else is at. So.
Well, you talked about maybe not even going because of the weather. Talked about running in the weather this morning. Is it tough to, run in the cold? Like, do you have to do anything special? Does the team do anything special?
Basically, just try to do the little things right, like warming up and stretching, and we practice that a lot. Like if it's even a hint of being cold, we put on sweats during warm-ups and just try to keep our bodies, preventing injuries is the biggest thing. And Whitkop's a big part of that. That's his number one thing, is keeping guys healthy. So if preventing injury is just by wearing sweats, then it's an easy thing to do for us. But then, we embrace the bad weather. Like I said, at conference my freshman year in sideways blizzard, we decided not to wear any Under Armour, gloves, anything, and we just jersey and shorts, and we just embraced it. And so that's what we try to do. So we kind of encourage the bad weather. But in practice, not so much.
Not so much.
Try to avoid bad weather in practice.
That's all right. Well, speaking of Whitkop, I like to do this with most of the track or cross-country kids on. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to. Can you give us your best Whitkop impersonation?
Either Ian or Shane.
I think I'd have to walk around on my tiptoes. That's what I have to do. He's got that little bit of a bounce. That's what he's known for.
Right.
I think one of the things that I like about Whitkop the most is he'll let you know if you're doing something wrong. He's a pretty easygoing guy, but if you're starting to do the wrong things, he'll let you know about it and call you out, which is a good thing. It holds people accountable. And one of the ways he does that is if you're late, you're doing push-ups. Every minute you're late, you're doing 10 push-ups.
Wow.
So if you show up 15 minutes late, that's 150 push-ups. So, it encourages people to be on time, and eventually nobody's late, and that's a really good thing.
Right.
So if I was going to impersonate Whitkop, I'd walk on my toes and do push-ups.
And make do push-ups.
Yeah.
That sounds like Coach Shane Whitkop to me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we want to do something on the show. We're starting something new. Oh, dropped all my papers. Just look here. We're starting something new. We want to do similar to Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? We're going to ask you 5 questions in 30 seconds. see how many you can get right, and then how long it takes. So,
All right.
I'm
Are you
going to
ready?
keep this timer on my watch. I'm going to keep it going just so you can see it too.
Just to be fair,
30
everybody
seconds.
knows we're being fair. 30 seconds. Here we
All
go.
right.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay, speaking of running, what is the fastest bird on foot? Out of ostrich, sparrow, eagle, or woodpecker?
Ostrich.
Perfect. What planet is closest to the sun? Venus, Earth, or Mercury?
Mercury.
Perfect. What does PEMDAS stand for?
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
Uh,
Or
and
parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division,
10 seconds.
addition, subtraction.
Perfect. A heptagon is a shape with how many sides?
5
4,
seconds.
6, 7, or 8?
7.
3.
How long is a regular
2,
term for a U.S. representative?
1.
3, 2, or 1?
2.
Yep. We'll give him that. 30 seconds
count
for
it.
5
I
questions.
count it.
We'll give it to you. Wow, that was impressive.
That was pretty good.
I don't know if anybody will beat that. I certainly would not if I did.
I am not smarter than a 5th grader. I'll tell you that.
Well, he is.
I
so
took it 3 times.
We give you that. You are the reigning champion
Oh,
right now. You're
cool.
the first one to
Sounds
ever do
good.
it, so we're excited for
Yeah.
that. Back into some cross country and school talk. You guys took second last year in the conference, and you mentioned Dakota State. That's kind of, I mean, they become a rival for a lot of sports on campus. They're definitely my rival. I like to throw that in there every chance I get. But you mentioned being able to see them is a perk before you run into that conference meet. But what's the expectation this year going into the conference meet?
Basically, the expectation is we go out there and compete. They got 2 guys that are going to go 1-2 in the conference, and we just have to face that fact. But you can't win a meet with 2 guys,
Yep.
so we just have to buy into the fact that every guy on our roster is going to matter. The 3, 4, 5, and even into 6 and 7, those guys are going to matter, and we just got to try to beat them. And every year, we never get to see them until conference. So we have a chance to see him this weekend and in Mount Marty in 2 weeks. So if we can see him twice and kind of adjust our training, that's huge.
Yeah.
And so they're running really well right now. Based on times, they're ahead of us a little bit, but doesn't matter.
Yeah.
On the day of conference, it's going to come down to placing, and it's going to come down to heart. So don't count us out because I think we got a shot.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
A little bit of a controversial question. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
So yes,
Why?
it's got bread and meat. That makes it a sandwich.
Wow, he's competent.
I mean,
Perfect.
Is that my bold
I-
statement?
I-
That's a bold.
that's a bold statement right there. I mean, I agree with it. I think a hot dog is a sandwich.
Yeah, I'll agree with you as well.
What's the argument?
I mean, I don't know. I think that's
That
just
it's
your
something other than a sandwich.
that's just your bold take on
I
it.
wonder what else it could be.
Is it a taco?
Definitely
Not.
not.
No, it's not a taco.
Okay. I mean,
Sandwich it is, I guess. right?
sandwich it is. Heard it here first on Hot Talk. Hot dogs are sandwiches.
Yep. That's right.
So,
Close us out.
so we ask this to everybody who comes on Hawk Talk. So, what does DSU mean to you?
It means a lot. Like I said, running in college was my biggest dream, and I'm living it every day. Even when I'm hurt or banged up, I'm still living it. And you got to enjoy the grind. And DSU is a really awesome community. They support you a lot. The teachers, if they'll help you out if you're gone. Like when you go to nationals, you'll miss about a week of school, and they're like, we'll figure it out when you get back. Focus on athletics, and the school can be made up later. And the other athletes support us a lot as well. We're running around the track at 6 a.m. and the football players are cheering us on, and it's just it feels like a family here, and that's what a lot of people say, and it's true. You come here and everybody, and you can support everybody, and so it means a lot to me to be here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, very well said. Well, Hunter, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, of course.
We're excited that you're at DSU. We're excited that we could get you on, and hopefully we can get you on in the next couple of years. We have a gift for you. Go ahead and throw it on the for coming on the show. These are our
Awesome.
new Hawk Talk shirts,
awesome.
sponsored by Immovable Ministries right
It's like-
there. So thank you for
Cut me
coming
off.
on. I'm trying to cut you off.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Flynn.
And we'll be back with another athlete right after this.
Hey guys, it's Tyler with Immovable Ministries here, and I'm so excited to be able to be the sponsor for this year's Hawk Talk. If you'd like to find out more about Immovable Ministries, you can visit our website at immovableministries.com.
Well, welcome back to Hawk Talk. We got a guest on the show who came quite a distance to be here at DSU. Go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, and what you do here at DSU.
I'm Jeremy Poyer. I play football at Dickinson State. I'm a senior, second year being here, and I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. Talk about that journey from DSU. You know, you took it a little different route than other people.
Yeah, I'm originally from Oregon and went down to California to play junior college football, and I thought I was done, to be honest, with football. So when Coach Stanton called my phone, I was pretty ecstatic and was blessed to get another opportunity to play. So it's been a journey for sure.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Coach Stanton, he set up quite the culture around DSU football, and it's been that way since Coach B and beyond. It's just that Blue Hawk legacy. So, what have you noticed the most about this culture here at DSU and the football team?
It's interesting because I wasn't expecting it to be as much family oriented as it is, and it's so much that we go through as the players here, as far as just not knowing during fall camp what you're going to do, getting to practice every day at 6 a.m., and then 3-a-days, 2-a-days, and then everybody on the team is just banding together low-key to just grind through the whole situation. So as much as hardships as we go through during the beginning of the season, it just brings us closer together. And Stan knows what he's doing when he does that. Stan knows exactly what he's doing, and it just brings us closer together. And I couldn't be happier as the group of guys that we got right now. So,
yeah, absolutely.
So, Poyer, are you a left Twix or a right Twix guy?
Left Twix.
Left Twix.
What's your reasoning behind that?
Just because left sounds better than right.
All right. So you've got quite the background in football. I know you played the different positions in the sport of football, offense, defensive line, and I know your brother, Jordan Poyer, plays for the Buffalo Bills. So just talk about your helping, not helping, but the things that have helped you in football.
Oh, he's been a huge help for me in football. Just being able to call somebody anytime I have a question with anything, as far as where I'm supposed to line up where. And he knows all that. He knows D-line, where you're supposed to line up, safety, you know what I mean? When you're in the pros, you pretty much know all that. So he's been a guide for me, and anytime I've had a problem, calling him has been easy for me. So go Bills, by the way.
You've also, you played quite a few other sports, right? You played basketball, beach volleyball.
Yeah.
So talk about some of those things and how those have helped you in your athletic career and with football.
My parents they're diehard sports people. So my mom was a volleyball coach. My dad, football coach, coached us in baseball, basketball, and so we were just into all that type of stuff. Yeah. And we kind of couldn't not be good at the sport because our parents forced us to practice every sport every season. So volleyball was probably the most laid back, fun sport that I played, and so I got into it a lot. And but football is always going to be in my heart, number one. So
absolutely,
perfect, great answers.
Thanks.
Well, who's the? Do you want me to ask?
It's your question.
Yeah. Okay. So this one, it's a controversial question.
Okay.
I'm excited to hear who you say it is, but I want to ask, who's the greatest basketball player of all time, in your opinion?
LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time.
Okay, and what's the reasoning? In comparison to Michael Jordan, I assume.
Michael Jordan is the GOAT, I think that Michael Jordan is the GOAT, and I think that when you say GOAT and you say greatest basketball player of all time, I think there's two different talks. I think LeBron James has the most skills. He's the biggest, most powerful, athletic basketball player ever to play the game. Michael just has the accomplishments to go with you know what I mean? So I think LeBron James is a better basketball player. I think Michael Jordan's legacy is better. So it's a different, for me, it's a different conversation. I don't know.
I can agree with that. I like that.
Yeah, so do I.
Very well said. Very politically correct.
Yeah, right.
Great job.
So last weekend, beat Mayville 79-14. That's the most points that DSU has ever scored. That's the history. And so, how does that feel being a part of that?
Oh, it was awesome. Most of the games we've played have been grinded out games this year. And so being able to sit there and watch some of the guys that worked so hard all season that don't really get to play that often go in there and make a big impact in a game that makes a difference as far as like the history books. It feels good for me, and a lot of them are close friends of mine, so I know it felt good for them. And it was just a great team. As far as like team wins, when you say team wins, that was a team win. We had a block special teams, punt taken back for a touchdown.
Yeah.
We had a couple quarterbacks throw touchdown passes, a couple quarterbacks run touchdown passes. Ahmad had a great game. So, I mean, as far as team wins goes, that was probably the most fun game I think we all played. And I barely played, so it was fun to watch those guys play.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, last year, we lost a couple guys on the defense. I mean, I guess transitioning from last year to this year, I mean, Jay, Kane, Danny, some staples to that defense. But it seems like this year you guys are once again, I mean, the staple to the team. That just like last year, the defense was kind of the thing that kept us going and always stayed even, and it's the same this year. So talk about, I mean, how does that happen where the defense is continually, I mean, week in, week out, performing at the peak and always kind of leading that team?
I gotta give all those props to Coach Thier. I mean, he came in second year. This is his second year being here. Came in last year, and we had what I think is the best defense in this conference, if not possibly the nation, if you break it down.
Absolutely.
And he's coming back with a lot of guys returning, but definitely a lot of staple guys leaving, and he still finds a way to drill into us. Like, this defense is a puzzle piece defense, and what I mean by that is, like, everybody does their job, and if everybody does their job, you'll be successful. And that's why I love this. That's why I love this defense. I love team-oriented defenses. Nobody is a more important piece than the other. Obviously, you got your KBs, your Derek Van Bosch's, Kevin Browns, that make huge plays for you, but without the people up front or the people in the back and the people next to them doing their job, they can't do what they do best.
Absolutely.
And Coach Thier drills that into our heads all offseason, and it's become a staple for this defense just to play together. And I wouldn't say that we're the staple for, I mean, Ahmad Andrews is running the ball crazy.
Absolutely,
Hayden's
yeah.
a franchise guy. So,
Yeah.
but it's nice to be looked at by a lot of people as the defense that holds it down, and that's the feeling that you want, and that's what you want going into every game. So.
And but by that I just mean, like, there's nothing that we're concerned about, I guess,
Right.
week in and week out. We just know you guys are going to be there, and sometimes I feel like that you maybe get overlooked because of that, because we can trust you to do that. But I do believe the offense is going to come around as well.
For sure.
And like you said, Ahmad and Hayden are really coming into their prime. Ahmad's been having
Tiger, I
a
wanna
great
be Tiger.
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 Ahmad's
Tiger
been having a
Fry.
great season. But what we want to do, are you smarter than a fifth grader? With you as well. We were informed that maybe we should do, what is it, a minute?
A minute.
A minute instead of 30 seconds.
So, sorry, Hunter.
Sorry, Hunter. You're still the champion. You're still the king right now. You did it in 30 seconds, but
You'll still be the champion.
You're the 30-second
you're
champion.
the 30-second champion. We'll see what Jeremy can do in a minute. Are you ready?
So I'm going to start the time as soon as, Seth, you're done reading the question.
Okay, and you'll give us 10 seconds when we're close? Okay.
Yes.
Here we go. What is the largest South American country by area? Argentina, Brazil, Chile, or Mexico?
Argentina?
Nope. Close, though. Which one of the following states is not part of the Four Corners? New Mexico, Utah, Colorado, or Nevada? This one's tough.
Colorado?
Incorrect. Close on that one. Who is the first person to step foot on the moon? Neil Armstrong, Edwin Aldrin, John Glenn, or Sally Ride?
Neil Armstrong.
Correct. Carefully is an example of what type of word? Adjective, noun, verb, or adverb? Really got to go back into your grammar.
Adverb.
Adverb, correct. In the northern hemisphere, what month is the autumn equinox? August, September, October, or November?
October?
Incorrect. You're close though. 2 out of 3. It's autumn, or it's September.
Is that it?
Close,
Is that
yeah,
all she
that's
wrote?
five.
For sure not
How-
smarter
What did
than
we
a
do?
fifth grader, I guess.
You got those questions done in 50 seconds.
50 seconds. 2 out of 5 though.
In
Not bad.
50
Some tough questions. I feel
Those
like
are
maybe
not fifth grade
I feel
questions,
like
I feel
maybe somehow we need to ask the same questions, but if they've watched an episode already, they know.
Right.
So we'll figure out.
Got to
a
have a
way.
little bit of a change up in there.
So you're in second place right now.
No,
So don't worry about it. You're in second place. Jeremy.
Not for long.
So, another controversial question. Who is going to win the Super Bowl?
And why?
I can't say the team that I really think is going to win the Super Bowl, so I'm going to go with the Bills.
And so if your brother wasn't watching, who would you say?
The Patriots really look like the best team in the NFL right now. And
You think they're
you
going to
could
beat?
say that they might.
You think they're going to beat the Steelers with 7 rings instead of 6?
Yeah, maybe.
Someday.
It's possible.
Someday they probably will. Yeah,
Eventually.
we'll say the Bills are going to win.
The Bills are winning it all this year.
Yeah, okay. So Jordan's watching. We got that covered. Well, you're halfway through this season right now officially with that Mayville game, moving into playing Dakota State this weekend. It has turned into a rivalry game. It's tough to play at Dakota State. Not that it's tough to play there, but the fans are interesting and the reffing is interesting. That's under my breath. But it's a fun environment, and it is tough to play there. They are a solid team. So what are we looking at this weekend, and then moving forward into the rest of the season?
From what I know, they have the leading rusher in the nation on their team right now. They feed that guy. I don't know his name. We call him 22, so I don't know his
Number
name for
22,
sure. But
okay.
he's leading the nation in rushing right now, so that'll be a tough test for us. But I think we got the guys to get it done defensively, and I think our offense is gonna have a coming out party this weekend.
Yeah.
I really have a full faith in our offense, and I think that this is the game where they're going to carry a lot of the load for us this week.
Absolutely.
We're just going to stay quiet on defense, do our job, and hopefully come out of there with the W. So.
Absolutely.
Sounds good to me.
That's true.
So, lastly, football is an emotional sport. So, how do you stay level-headed in situations kind of like last week where we were beating them 41-7 at halftime? How do you stay level-headed in that situation?
Just enjoying. You enjoy the game. As a game, when you take it all away, everything away, it's just a game that you play for fun. So, you just sit there and enjoy your teammates doing what they need to do, and you don't let it get out of hand. You stay humble, you stay hungry, and you just keep fighting when it's when you're on the other side of that 41-7, you know.
Right.
And so it's tough for both sides, but you got to enjoy it when you get the W.
Absolutely.
That's right. And the question we've been asking, it's become, one of the main questions we ask here.
I think it
on
is
Hawk Talk.
the main
It is
question.
the main question, unless you're a frequent flyer, as we say. We ask different
Right.
ones. But we want to know, you came from Oregon by way of California to North Dakota. Here you are at Dickinson, enjoying being a Blue Hawk. But what does it mean to be a Blue Hawk in your eyes?
It's just like a lot of words come up: legacy, tradition, family, culture. All those are being a Blue Hawk, you know. And so I think as far as what it means to me, it means being a family, being one team, one community. The fans, they do so much for us. I don't even think they understand how much we appreciate it. And just all the other sports, we enjoy going to watch other people play, and everybody comes and watch us play. So just family, I think, is the number one thing I think that I get out of being a Blue Hawk.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we have a gift for you.
I
Go
got
ahead
this.
and throw it. Yeah, there we go.
All right.
We got a I Flew on Hawk Talk T-shirt for you. You can rep that, Saturday before the game,
Yeah,
or
for sure.
whenever you want. But we want to say thank you for coming
It's like on
on,
the wall.
Thank you very much,
Appreciate
Blair.
you guys,
Yeah.
man. Appreciate you guys for having me.
and we'll be back right after this to recap this past weekend and look forward to the next.
Here come your Blue Hawks. Steps into the throw, in the wind, down to the goal line, and caught! Touchdown, Blue Hawks!
Well, welcome back to Hawk Talk. We got Susanna on the show. She's going to help us recap here. It's not Boys only.
Not anymore.
You can't say that, all right?
I got it.
Okay. Well, last weekend cross country, we just had Hunter on. The men took third at the Jamestown Invite. I believe Ernie took 9th and Hunter took 14th. So we got guys who are doing really well, consistently showing up, and Ernie and Hunter are those two guys, I think, for the team. And like he talked about, it's going to take all 5 or 6 guys at that conference meet to really do something and to really win that conference meet, but we're very confident in those guys and we're excited. And the women's side, the women took 2nd at that cross-country meet in Jamestown, and Lisa Townsend, runner of the week again for the second
Saw that on
time
Twitter.
this
Good
for her.
conference. We're excited. Congratulations. I believe she took 4th, and JC Wilson took 6th, and Emily Keene took 7th, I want to say. Yeah, Emily Keene took 7th. So again, women on the they're consistent. They're always running together, and I believe that conference championship, the 6th one in a row, 5th or 6th, 5th one in a row will be. I mean, it's just on the brink and on the horizon. So we're excited. Like Hunter said, they might be going to Dort, they might be going somewhere else. So we'll stay updated on that, and we're looking forward to seeing how they do.
Women's basketball, they had a scrimmage against Williston. Don't know the exact score on that, but that could probably be on the website at dsubluehawks.com within the few days. But volleyball, lost a presentation in 5. I know that was a big game for them. It was conference play.
Yep.
But they beat Mayville 3-1.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's great. Yeah,
Hawks beat Mayville Day
Yeah,
Saturday.
They beat Mayville Day on
Yeah.
Saturday.
Beat
Yeah,
Mayville.
I guess
The best
Mayville
kind of
had
day.
beat Bellevue earlier in the year too, and Bellevue's ranked in like 15th in the nation. So it's exciting to see those big wins, and we had quite a few girls really step up for that game.
And then Kadara plus Alyssa. Am I reading that right? Seth?
You're right, yeah.
Kadara
Kadara
and
and
Alyssa letting kills.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Which I know what those are now because Ellie and Kadara explained them to me last
That's
time.
right. Okay. So you know what they are.
Sarah Dobitz led in digs.
Mm-hmm.
Can read that.
And
Also know
Sarah,
those
yeah.
are.
Yeah. So I mean, and Aaron and Sarah and Jenna, they're really
Yes.
consistently leading in digs. They're almost always having the same numbers every week, and that's also very exciting to see consistency on that side of the ball. And especially all 3 of them are. I mean, I guess a couple of them are juniors and sophomores. So we got some experience in the younger years coming up in the next couple of years. So we're excited for that.
Along with they beat Valley in 3.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Also conference play.
Yep. Big,
And
big-
Jenna Swoop letting digs in that game as well.
Yeah.
So
big win, big couple wins to finish out the conference, and then they basically flip around. They have this weekend off, but they flip around and then go back to the rest of the conference. So we're excited for that.
awesome.
Awesome. And I don't know why the boys decided to give me football, considering, Seth played, Coulter's the manager, but I'll do my absolute best. So
You
this
will.
weekend, we played Mayville. I say we. I didn't play. I sat
were there.
in the warm home and I watched the game online. But anyways, they played Mayville. They beat them 79-14, which is a record score for our
Yep.
team. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I believe the last highest was 72. Is that
72, like
correct?
back in the
The
80s.
80s? Oh, I thought
I
I
believe it's the 80s.
60s, but
Yeah, we know.
we
the
maybe
records
should
really
have
well,
looked
yeah.
that up. But we know that this is a new record,
record,
and
Yes.
that's
And actually,
Absolutely
last
crazy.
year or last year I want to say, or 2 years ago.
It was 2
we
years
were-
ago against Mayville.
Against Mayville, we almost set the record. We were 2 points away.
Oh,
from
really?
setting the record, but we
Yep,
didn't get
that
a
game
chance
was
to.
72-7.
Yep, 70.
Well, hey,
Congratulations to
look
those
at that.
guys.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
excited. That's really amazing.
That's
I can
so
tell you,
cool.
it was just nuts being there.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Everybody
it
was
nuts
super
to
happy.
watch.
Everybody was super happy, but then everybody got in the right mindset,
Mm-hmm.
saying next week we got Dakota State. Time to focus up.
And it definitely was different. Last week I listened to the game on the radio, the last home game, and it was definitely like down to the wire. Overtime, I'm sitting in the
Absolutely.
parking lot in Minot, like, oh my gosh, are we gonna win? And then this week to be like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? The halftime score was what, 49-7 or something like that, and I was like, are you kidding? But anyways, it was cool. Turn around the next, a different week scoring. We know that Hayden to Jarrett Lee twice means he threw and
Two
Jarrett got
touchdowns.
2
Yep.
touchdowns.
That's
You're
right.
getting it.
Okay,
You're
I'm
getting it.
interpreting these.
Yeah.
Cooper Ray, 1 touchdown.
Yep. Yep. Got some action.
Wow.
There. We're excited to see him get.
Him and Drew Bodecker.
And Drew Bodecker, they got to share quite a bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, excited to see Cooper get that. Amazing
And
drive
Kaylor,
there.
who was on Blue Hawk Game Day a few
Yeah.
weeks ago, really was hyping up.
He was
So
was
it's nice to
excited,
see
yeah.
Cooper in the game
That's
and,
right.
and doing what Kaylor said he really could do, kind of
we
getting
knew
to
he
see him.
could.
Him and Kellen. Kellen being
Oh,
a
yeah.
tight end.
Yeah. Look at those
The
Ray
brothers,
boys.
The Ray bros.
Exactly.
Carrying on that tradition. We know Alec Lovgren, 3 touchdowns,
Yep.
and he's a younger
Yep.
team, and
a
he's
freshman.
really doing a great job.
Yeah.
You know, you hear his name a lot. He's got a lot of stats already. Like,
That number 12
it's
jersey.
pretty crazy.
Looks pretty good out there.
Did somebody else wear number
Else wore
12?
that? I don't know who it was though.
Yeah, listen up, Seth. Stop. And Ahmad, who we know is also doing a very good job this
Yeah,
season.
I think
2
he
touchdowns
what does he have
this
nine
game.
9 touchdowns on the year, 9 or 10 touchdowns on the
Yeah,
year.
I
believe so.
Oh man,
Something like that.
like Jeremy said, he really is the guy
Mm-hmm.
who we can count on every week to score a touchdown or at least lead the team,
Yeah.
get some rushing, and really come up big in the times that we need him. Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean that Waldorf game, we didn't really have much going, and then all of a sudden he just broke away and
Right.
really led the team there.
Definitely. There's a few other things on here that I don't understand, so I
I take a
will
look?
pass them over to you. But then I have a question at the very end. So you explain that stuff,
Yeah,
and then I'll ask my question.
we had a punt block.
Yes, it was Merlin White Dirt had the punt block, but Dawson McLaughlin was able to pick that up, able to score a touchdown off of that.
Yeah, man. Wow. So we were scoring on all sides. Defense, we had 1 interception from Trent Rohr. A couple younger guys, well, not younger guys, but Javante, he led in tackles, and Dylan Reiner led in tackles as well. So, I mean, it was a wide variety of guys scoring and making plays, showing up, beating Mayville 79-14. So that was exciting. They're playing at Dakota State this weekend, which
How do you feel about Dakota
as
State?
we all know,
It's
I don't
lesser
like
DSU.
Dakota State, the lowercase DSU, as we say, the lesser DSU. Yeah, I don't like those guys at all, at all. Like I always say, I would pick Rocky to beat them, and that's like
And that's
That's
very-
that's
very
really
bold.
saying
That's-
that's a bold
wow.
statement.
that's a bold
Seth.
statement. But you know, Hawks are going to win this weekend, as always, as I always pick. Dakota State they're good, but I think they get way too much credit, and I'm believing the Hawks are going to roll, and that offense is going to step up. Defense is going to show them what a good rusher actually looks like, and they're going to shut him down. Number 22, as we refer to him.
Just number
I
22.
like it.
Number 22. What's
Okay,
the question you want
question. So after this win this weekend, I know that we actually moved down in
The
the
national
national
rankings,
rankings. And my brain just doesn't really understand that. And Coulter really tried to explain it to me, and he was being very kind and really dumbing it down a lot. But I still just don't really get it. Why, if we won,
That I mean, in such an extreme
yeah,
fashion.
I
don't-
agree.
What do you think?
I mean, I kind of suspected that if we would have beat Mayville by that many points, somebody lower in the rankings would have taken our spot. I just didn't expect. I thought we were going to stay the same at 13.
Yeah.
But just to go down to 14, I think that's a little bit of a low blow.
Yeah. I don't really want to start beef with the NAIA because I have enough beef with
The North Star
the
Athletic
North Star.
Association.
Athletic Association and every other person in this conference. But it doesn't make sense to me. Though I know the way it works in the conference ranking or in the national rankings. It's if teams lose that are ahead of you, is basically the only way that you move up, unless it's the first couple of weeks and you really have a good showing. And so, I mean, on all my years here at DSU, I've seen teams just move up because other teams ahead of them had fallen back. And so I don't really see the reasoning behind it. There's a team, Southeastern Florida, who I would really love the Hawks to play, but they're all the way in Florida, that I think we are much better of a team than those guys. But for the most part, the teams ahead of us definitely deserve those rankings, but I don't think we deserve to drop a spot. So
Yeah.
that's just our opinion here on Hawk Talk, and
That's fair.
we'll stick to it.
great. And lastly, we've got something new and exciting. So for those who've been following, Homecoming 2019 is coming up in
Next week.
next week. I was going to say in a few short weeks, but no, really,
Next
like
week.
next week. The theme this year is Woods Hawk Festival in
Oh.
memory of, I guess, or whatever, of the
It's the
Woodstock
50-year
Festival.
anniversary, I believe.
The 50th anniversary of that. And we're doing a few new fun things this year. We're going to try a few things out. And one of those things is the pep rally that we kind of started. And Seth is going to tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, okay. So next Thursday
About
at
that.
7:30, we're having a pep rally. CB Schneider and Alicia Erickson have organized this kind of to get some spirit back into homecoming week. And it's going to be for all sports, or every student on campus, every community member who wants to come. You guys are all invited. Every
Stop on
person
down.
in Dickinson is excited, or is invited, and we are excited to
Yep.
have that going on. There's going to be food for students at 7:30, and then at 8 o'clock from 8 to about 9:20, there's a pep rally, and then there's actually a Blue Hawk Blitz that we're going to have for the men's and women's basketball team. So I believe you'll see
Hosted
us
by
out there. Yeah, we're
yours
gonna be
truly.
emceeing that thing. Ellie will be with us as well. We don't really know what we're going to be doing, so
It'll be fun.
It'll be fun. It'll
Stop
be an
on down
adventure,
to
but
watch the adventure.
Yeah,
I also have to give a plug. The DSU Heritage Foundation's online auction is currently open. We've got lots of cool, I was going to say events, but what I mean to say
Items.
is lots of cool items on the auction, and there are new items being added almost every single day.
Yep.
So much cool stuff. So if
Yep.
you want to do that, the link is very long, but you can find it on the DSU Heritage Foundation website or on our Twitter, or we can link
Facebook.
it in our
Yep.
Instagram.
Yep. And the greatest
So-
thing about this is that every single item on there, all the profits are going to
Yeah.
scholarships. It's
Exactly.
for specific programs. If they've donated it, or if it's just from the Heritage Foundation, it's going to merit scholarships. So
Yep.
that's honestly the
So
best
you're really
thing about this.
supporting,
You're supporting
all
DSU.
students at DSU, which is really the goal of the foundation. And so this and our Yule Time auction are great ways to give to students
Yep.
and to give to all kinds of students,
Yep.
not just athletics, which
Yep.
is a really big push.
It's just
but to meet
every student
everyone.
at DSU,
Yeah.
every club and organization as well. So
Check that out.
Check that
My
out.
bold statement. Go check out the online auction.
Well, thank you guys for watching this week's episode of Hawk Talk. We want to thank Immovable Ministries for continuing to partner with us. We're so thankful to Tyler and Kelsey out there giving us their support, and for Consolidated for always letting us film out here. So from the DSU Heritage Foundation and from us, we want to say Hawks are up.